after weeks of scandal, the business secretary, Kemi Badenoch, has said there is need for new leadership at the post office. And the outgoing chairman, as a result, has stepped down, or been gently pushed.
Well, I think it's a bit of that, isn't it? Government officials say an interim will be appointed shortly and a recruitment process for a new chairman or chairwoman will be launched in due course in accordance with the Governance Code for Public Appointments.
Let's talk to political commentator Suzanne Evans, who joins us now. I mean, this guy's only been in post for about a year, so it's not as if this is essentially his fault. However, it does feel right, doesn't it, to have a clean sweep?
Well, Henry Staunton, the outgoing chairman, might not think so. He's got a long and prestigious career in corporate boardrooms across the country. He's 75 years old. He's worked for ITV, BSkyB, Ladbrokes, the London-listed equipment company Ashtead Group, and he's currently already sits on the board of Standard Bank and the FTSE 100 insurance giant Legal & General. So this is a man who's very well respected in his fields. As I said, has had a whole host of very high-profile jobs. And yet, here we are. He's been ousted from the post office. They say he stepped down by mutual consent, but it is quite clear that the business secretary, Kemi Badenoch, has said that she wants change at the top. And yes, you can understand that. But as I say, it's not really that he's responsible for this because he didn't come into post until December 22. And of course, as we know, the High Court case which ruled that the Horizon IT system had bugs and that convictions were unsafe was well before that in 2019.
Yes, I think a lot of the wrongfully accused and, in some cases, imprisoned postmasters and sub-postmistresses will be pleased that at least things are being done, and that that I think that the criticism of him is that during the year he has been in charge, he's just not achieved anything. It's almost as though the post office are still trying to bury their head in the sand over the whole affair.
Well, it's interesting. One of the reports that have come out is that why he's been asked to step down is because apparently he and the government, it said, had a bit of a clash over who should be appointed as a new investigative role of director to the board. Now, it's understood, I think, that Henry Staunton wanted an existing non-executive director of the Post Office Board to take that new role, whereas the government wanted a Whitehall insider. But that in itself raises questions, doesn't it? Because the Mail on Sunday did an analysis and it found that there were some 101 government contracts existing with Fujitsu across 40 different government departments, quangos and local councils. So who is closer to this really? Is it the Whitehall insider or somebody who's already on the Post Office Board and has been and seen much more of the whole story? Certainly some MPs are saying that there's been a overtly or too cosy relationship between government and Whitehall and Fujitsu. Lucy Allen, the MP for Telford, just up the road from me here in Shropshire, she's been saying that this relationship is too cosy, that Fujitsu and the government are far too reliant upon each other, and that's part of the reason this scandal was allowed to happen. We know we've had people like the Lib Dem leader Ed Davey has said that he believed what the Post Office and Fujitsu were telling him. We now know wrongly. So there you go. There's this row. Obviously, somebody's heads have had to roll, and it's Henry Staunton's that's gone.
Oh, it's part of the thing when you're in at the top, isn't it? Suzanne, good to see you this morning. Thanks very much indeed. I'm sure you've got a view on that.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
I mean, as you said, it's part of it. That's the reason they get paid the big bucks, is because ultimately they carry the can. I mean, I can understand. I mean, Suzanne, in effect, saying, well, it's not really his fault. None of it's his fault, it seems a little bit unfair. But do you know what? I sort of don't have any sympathy. Maybe that's wrong of me. I don't know. But it's just like you've been at the top, and as you say, we've heard nothing really from the Post Office in the last year. It has been a bit head in the sand, and maybe it's time just to start again. You still get the feeling with the Post Office at the moment because they don't seem to be very open and direct, even in their apologies, which are very few and far between. Yeah. You just don't get the feeling that that they really care still. No. And that's probably maybe why you do need to boot out quite a few people at the top. But who are they going to replace them with? And these cosy relationships that Suzanne was that you get this feeling, don't you, that there's probably an awful lot of cosy relationships that we know nothing about.
Yeah. Well, something has to change dramatically, I think. But anyway,
they're making
we'll keep
a play.
up to date with that.
They're making a play of it. You know, obviously the drama, the ITV drama, which has sort of brought it to the fore, really. And there have been documentaries in the past, but the ITV drama is the one that got everybody talking about it. Well, they're turning it into a play already, apparently.
Someone's thinking of coining it in.
Very, very quickly. Well, why not, I suppose.
I suppose.